Alright everyone, we're back with episode 30. Let's get straight into it. First up we got Raj, and he just said review, so let's take a look. He got some just some stuff on there. It's from India. Shout out India. So yeah, here pretty sick. He's got this sun race lever, friction lever, kind of like mod thing. And yeah, I dig this. A lot of times it's hard to put a shifter on a bike. I think when you put it up here it kind of looks a little bit funky, but I do like this. It might be a little bit hard to change, but it looks like he's got his bars pretty high up. So yeah, I think I like that, and it's pretty neat. He got the same angle on the lever here as well to take the photo, so I appreciate that. Here's another front pick, action pick in kind of rough terrain. And he's got some levers again, got a blue bike. I think his cable's here a little bit long. This one's a little bit long, and this one's a little bit long, so could tighten those up a little bit. And yeah, your lever, your brake arm here is a little to the right hand side. You can just screw the little screw here, maybe like 2 turns, and it should straighten that up. And then you might need to readjust your pads. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Just like a nice little gravel bike with a low standover height. And I do like how he put his picture up here, how he put his bike up here, resting on the pedal. I'm not sure how he got this to stand up, but yeah, I feel like that's kind of a trick in itself. And yeah, here, brake cable long again. You can see it poking out, and I feel like his B-limit screw is a little too far in. You gotta unscrew a little bit to make this jockey wheel a little bit closer to the biggest cog on the cassette, and that will make your chain line a little bit smoother, make your shifting a little bit smoother. But yeah, overall pretty good. Definitely watches my videos because he has bottle in bottle cage. So nice one, Raj. Thanks for sending. Next one is Max. Max says roast. So yeah, just not enough colors on this bike, and just yeah, too much black. I feel like that's kind of like a cop out as well. And no bottle cage, pedal completely not straight. Looks like he's running 32 spoke on the back, 36 on the front, so not non-matching spokes. It's got some, looks like Ritchie rims, got some Ritchie rims on here. I'll give you a few points back for that. Got True Temper EXO tubing. I'll give you a couple of points for that. What's going on here? Looks like this looks super ugly. Looks like he tried to put the rack on like 3 different times, and every time he was like, nah, just cut it off. Nah, cut it off. Nah, cut it off. And then they end up putting it on the brake buses. So yeah, get rid of those. Those are pretty ugly. I definitely wouldn't leave those on my bike. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Looked like it did a 1-bike conversion. I like the slick tires. And yeah, all black actually looks good. So well done. Nice one. Thanks, Max. Alright, next up is Kurt. Kurt says subject 89 giant Sedona. So no review or roast, so we'll just take a look. Yeah, overall pretty sick. Matchy with yellow cage, yellow typeface here, matching pedals, matching grips, all little matchy. I don't think that doesn't match as the seat, I think, with the red going through here. But yeah, overall pretty close. Pretty nice bike. I like the frame geo, and I actually really like this giant typeface. I haven't you don't really see this one often, but it's pretty sick. Toasty Rides actually has like an orange one, and that looks sick too. But yeah, just like a low grip set. Seems like does the job. Looks like you put a new chain on, which is cool. And yeah, looks pretty comfy. Nice one, Kurt. Thanks for sending. Alright, next up is Chris. Chris says bike roast in the subject, so he enjoys my content. Say hi from Arizona, so shout out Arizona. And yeah, here's his bike. He wants a roast, so overall pretty sick kind of cruiser bike. I feel like he's got this old style look to it, like a Brooks saddle, and he's got the Brooks matching the tilt down bars, matching the down tube typeface, got to take a couple points off. The typeface is wrong on the bottle. Race face, typeface is too new as well. And yeah, it looks like he's running kind of like a low group set, 300 EX. Same with the cranks, which is pretty solid, I think. Pretty solid group set. Got some Dior shifters. So yeah, I think low end components on the drivetrain, but solid. Shifters a bit better, and then brakes. I think these are just no-name brakes. These look super cheap, but I guess it matches the drivetrain. I think the interesting thing here is basically how much he spent on the Brooks saddle. I feel like the whole Brooks saddle, once again, like outweighs the whole bike. I think, yeah, the Brooks saddle cost more than the whole drivetrain, brakes, and probably the levers and shifters. So it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of out of place a little bit. I know he probably really wanted that kind of like old style look, so he committed to that, but he's neglecting some of the other components there. And then yeah, major fence here. No bottle in bottle cage again. And I feel like the saddlebag is within the same era, but it's kind of like a newer style saddlebag, so I'm not sure about that. And then he's got this shoulder strap here to carry his bike, but he put two bottle cages in here, so I feel like getting your shoulder in there would be kind of hard, so kind of more just for the aesthetics. And looks like, yeah, it just rides in the desert. So yeah, I think the head tube here is actually pretty steep. I don't know if it's the photo, but it looks super steep, almost like a racing head tube. And you can see there's going to be toe overlap as well. But it actually looks like he's got the speed racer type of body position. If you look, like the way his levers are, so that levers are pointing straight out this way, and his bars are tilted down, so his arms have to come out basically horizontal like this, so like that, and then his elbows would go up, his back, and then his legs, so his face would kind of be right here, so it definitely would be in a super tucked position, which I think is pretty funny. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for sending in. All right, next up is Nick. Nick says roast, and he says big fan channel. Thanks, Nick. Roast away. He said he gained a lot of confidence watching my videos. This is probably a lot of false confidence. But yeah, this is his rig. Looks pretty sick. He said roast, so let's see what we got. Crank arm not straight. Red pedal is a violation. I do like the background of SF. Looks pretty sick. It looks like he's got some type of lucky dip container here to try to get friends. But yeah, I don't know if that works for him. I do like these tires, Race King, Continental Race Kings. I heard they're light and they roll fast. And looks like he's got a lot of bottles going on. He's got 4 bottles. Maybe this is just a tool container, but looks like he's definitely going somewhere far. And then here, got the bags off. Look like he rode somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, looks like got pretty sick setup overall. 3x7. I think this is a Sarah. And yeah, that's basically it. Still got his lucky dip container here. Still full, so didn't make any friends, but overall pretty sick. All right, nice one, John. Nice one, Nick. So it's funny because his email says Nick, but his name says John here, so don't know, you take your pick. All right, next up is Richard. Richard said, roast. Hi, please roast me, thanks. No worries, Richard. First of all, gotta roast him for this angle of the handlebars. I feel like it's kind of like a little bit extreme here. Just the angle goes tilted so far down, so his arms would basically go straight up. So you think he'd be super tall, but the saddle isn't up that high, so kind of a little bit of mismatch. Probably going for that wheelbarrow kind of steez. Pedal not straight, no bottle cage, no bottle in bottle cage. This strut is too long, so going below the fork, got to cut that. Basket is good, and I do like this little brake hanger here, but there's a little gap. You might want to kind of slam that down a little bit. And yeah, overall, that's basically it. This brake cable on the back looks a little bit too long too. See if there's any other picks. Nope, that's that's the only pick. So yeah, that's basically it. Alright, thanks Richard. I do like the turbo saddle though. Alright, next up is Bryce. Bryce says roast. It says love the content. Thanks Bryce. This is Specialized Rock Hopper. Roast away. So it looks like he's got some fake Brooks saddle going on right there. And yeah, got a pretty small bike, I would say. Small size for him. So you can see he's got the saddle all the way up and the bars all the way up. It's got super good stand over height though. Just the usual again, no bottom bottle cage, crank arm not straight, pedal not straight. Included his address in the photo, so that's probably not good. Looks like his deck needs a repaint too. Seems a little bit worn here. You gotta be careful, it might rot if you don't paint it. And then yeah, I actually do like these bars. I think the shape of them are pretty sick. And it's got some new fresh tires on there to some Araya rims, front and back. Pretty sick wheel set. Looks like a cruiser bike. Got some Sugino cranks, DX, remake going one by, lighten the bike a little bit. And got the mirror accessory, so yeah, pretty sick. Alright, I take it back. He didn't put his address there because you can see there's different people living. First floor and second floor, second, third floor. So yeah, you have to kind of take your pick. You don't really know, or maybe it's just like a troll thing. Alright, pretty sick overall. Looks like a nice little cruiser. Nice one, Bryce. Thanks. Alright, next up is Ted. So yeah, here's Ted, and he just wants a normal review. And he built it up. And got a bunch of parts. Got some moth bars on there, pretty sick. Moto stem, XTR. So yeah, it's got a lot of nice parts. And overall looks pretty sick. I like the kind of level, comfy height. I do like the swooping cables. That looks pretty good as well. Nice tire upgrade. 3x, big range on the 3x and big range on the back. I don't really like SPDs, but if you like them, that's cool. And yeah, some extra wrapping on the bars here for a different grip position, friction up the top, and got some nice canty brakes here. Looks like he rides it in the dirt too, and the snow. No fenders though, no bottle cage. But yeah, overall pretty sick build. Loose headset, gotta shim that. I think he mentioned he shimmed it in the email. So yeah, overall pretty sick. Thanks Ted, thanks for sending in. Alright, next up is Hayden, and he said roast submittal in his subject, spelt that way. Hey Gary, I really dig your videos. Thanks Hayden. Hello from Orlando, Florida, USA. Shout out Orlando. Alright, he wants a roast. So first up, red fork not matching, crank arm not straight, slightly off. Pedal is straight, quick release, not at the right angle, quick release lever, no bottle cage. Here's another pic of it. This looks better. I do like the comfy setup. He's got his bars tilted forward, so maybe he rides a little bit more aggressively. It looks like he's maybe a little bit taller. Yeah, not too much to it on this one. Looks pretty good. Not too much to roast. I like this pic better. Pic in the sun. Kind of hard to see with the seat, but overall looks pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. Not too much to roast on this one. Nice one, Hayden. Cool bag. Thanks for sending in. Alright, next up is Ian. Ian says he loves the channel. Thanks, Ian. And please review. So he's got some upgrades on there. Alright. Pretty sick build overall. It's got a nice basket. Yeah, got some LX grip set here. Pretty nice grip set. Got a big bottle in bottle cage. Crank arm is straight, so props to you. Got a little dog thing on here. Not sure what that is. A dog bag, maybe of his dog. Got a little bell here. Pretty cool. Got a little light accessory here. Cargo net too. Yeah, pretty all decked out. Looks like he rides a lot. Nice rear rack on the back, handy to have. Looks like he upgraded the shifters. So these are micro shift. And yeah, here's all of it decked out. Looks pretty cool. Nice one, sweet view. This almost looks like, the mountain almost looks like it's photoshopped in, but I'm pretty sure it's real. But yeah, that's a sick pic. Awesome, Ian. Thanks for sending in. Nice bike. Alright, next up is Chris. Chris says, my guy Gary. And basically got it and he rebuilt it. So this is the old bike, and yeah, pretty sick. A lot of sick parts. I like these 2000 type parts. Race face, seat post, Thompson stem. Yeah, you got a few things going on. Some super cool frame, light speed frame, should be super light. Got some bar ends going on, and then this is after. So yeah, it looks like he cleaned it up, and it's quite bold. He took the Lightspeed logo off. I probably would have left that myself, but yeah, I'm surprised he took that off. Got a nice little bag there. The bag looks good. I think this is fish ski bags. I'm not sure. Can't really tell. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, all the different colors. And XTR. No bottle cages. There's 3 bottle cages here. I don't know if you can see, but all 3 are missing bottles. Upgraded fork. Yeah, I like the upgrade on the fork. I think it looks pretty sick to keep it all kind of the same color. Same with the seat post and bars. These Avid Black Op levers are also super cool, super expensive, but yeah, they're super sick. And nice little touch of color with the cabling work. Quick release lever on the wrong side, however. This is a Hope hubs. Looks like he rebuilt the wheels as well. So yeah, this bike is super decked out. Alright, frame bag is by Sasho 604 if you're looking for a good frame bag. But yeah, overall pretty sick build. Super decked out. Nice one. Thanks, Chris, my guy. Alright, next up it's probably butchering this name. Matt Tazu. Alright, his second submission. So surprised I didn't pronounce it wrong the first time. Alright, and he said, so he actually gave me the translation because he knew me so well. So it's Marty Whoosh. Alright, so it looks like I got it way off. But yeah, hopefully I got it right that time. And he said roast and review, so I only just do one, so I just do roast. So first out, roasting you for these bars, just too many hand positions here. Resting your grip on this rough concrete, gonna scratch up your grips there. Crank arm not straight. I can even see from this, this angle. I think the colored headset's too cute with the color bolts. So roasting you with that. Missing mounts in fork, gonna roast you for that. Okay, overall pretty sick here on the side pick. I think the stance is cool. But crank arm not straight, no bottle cages, no bottle in bottle cages. It looks like a nice day out though. People hanging out here. Non-drive side shot. Again, crank arm not straight. Rear wheel, large cassette, SRAM, custom, cogs, custom, quick QR lever, cap. But yeah, that's it. Overall pretty sick. 6 stance, I think. Alright, thanks for sending Mate Whoosh. Thanks. Alright, next up is Makita review. And she's from Warsaw, Poland. Shout out Warsaw 1x8. Alright, just a normal review. Alright, pretty sick overall. Haven't seen this frame before, but it looks pretty sick. It looks like the fork is longer for some reason. Maybe it's just a photo. Yeah, it's real tricky because like you think this parking line would be straight, but there's like a slight curve to it. So it makes like everything look bigger on this end. But yeah, overall pretty sick. I like the paint job, and silver, black, always a good combo. Bottle cage, crank arm not straight. Saddle tilt, I think if that's comfortable for you, then that's good. I would say maybe the bar to saddle ratio might give you a little pain, but if it's good for you, it's good for you. I like the fender on the back. And yeah, overall pretty sick. Another side pick. Here it is out in action. Water looks cool. Nice little basket and rack on the front. And yeah, clean cable work there. Nice one. Thanks one, Makita. Alright, next up is Alexandra, and she said, fantastic channel, thank you. Thanks Alexandra, appreciate that. Keep on roasting. Cheese from Germany. Shout out Germany. Alright, so yeah, this her bike. Yeah, she's going full army on this one. I really don't like these tires, so yeah, I gotta roast you for that. But I do appreciate the full commitment to your theme. So I'm gonna let the tires slide this time. Yeah, this is basically a full army bike. She's got the brown, she's got, yeah, the army green, even with the green crate. Crank arm is straight, pedals straight. I would say this reflector is probably unnecessary. I'd probably take that off. You can carry all your army gear in here. Yeah, pretty sick, pretty themed out on this one. Yeah, not too much to say on this one. I just gotta, yeah, not too much to roast either. I just gotta give full props to the full theme bike. It's almost like a cosplay bike. Yeah, I respect it. I don't really like these little reflector bits on the bike, but yeah, what can you do? Overall, pretty cool. Thanks, Alexandra. Thanks for sending. Cheers. All right, next up is Lewis. Says roast. So first up, he roasted me. Spelt my name wrong. So yeah, Lewis's bike. He just wants to roast. So let's see what he's got. Looks like he's riding in the apocalypse somewhere. You look at all these photos. Yeah, definitely looks like it's out of like a zombie movie or something. Gotta roast you for having like this cable just being way too short. Gonna roast you for your barrel adjuster being too far out here. Too much rust on the bolts there. Got these old school bullhorn grips, but missing end caps there. I'm not really into that. Got some DX brakes. DX rear mech. Seems pretty cool on that part. Got some newer style cranks. I think these are LX cranks. So newer gen. He does have 2 bottles in bottle cages, so I give him that, but crank arm not straight once again. Got matching saddle, but different color. Couple points off of that. QR release too far, hanging too far down. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks for sending in. All right, next up is Loic. People know now. People are giving me how to pronounce their names, so yeah. Good call on that one. Loic, French name. Don't know if he's from France or not, but he wants a review and a roast, please. So I only do one, so we'll just do roast. So first roast, gotta roast him for taking his picture next to graffiti. I feel like that's just too corny, too played out. And then I feel like he's trying pretty good not to get a roast because it's got crank arm straight, pedals straight, 2 bottles in bottle cages. Doing pretty good so far. His saddle angle I could slightly roast, but I think this is passable. I think he's probably more upright on this kind of setup. And let's see what else he's got. Here's the front. Alright, I can roast him for having too much gap here for his levers. So it's a 2-finger lever, but it uses 1 finger. So that's probably the reason for the big gap. And then yeah, not really much else. Riding the rain, I can roast him for not having fenders, I guess. It's got the Ore City stem cap as well. Alright, roasting him for this. Roasting him in case he forgets what size his bike is, so I kind of left that on. And then it's just some velvet orange bars, black spire chainring. And he looks like he cut these off. I think these were cut, and then this spider was cut and then ground down, so you could run it 1x. It used to be 3x. That's pretty cool. Okay, gonna roast him for missing chain link right here. If you guys can see that. Gonna be hard to ride without a chain link. More beauty shots on the back. Cable work looks good. He's got his redrop slam back for longer wheelbase. SLX. Got a nice bell too. Thumbs up. Alright, gonna roast him for his phone case here. Looks like a camo phone case. Gonna be hard to find your phone with that one. Nice crank bell though. Bottle looks good. Even the bottle matches his bike. I know this isn't script type, but it still kind of matches. Alright, that's basically it. I think this bike was probably the best bike that escaped all the roasts. So yeah, overall pretty sick. Nice one, Loic. You did a great job. Nice stance, like the front rack. Alright. Alright, gonna roast him. He sent the same email twice. 3 times. So yeah. Too thirsty. Roasting Loic for being extra thirsty. Alright, next up is Zach. And Zach says, I have no idea what this bike is. I was told it's an Iron Horse from 1992. Alright, he said roast review, so I'm just gonna roast it. Alright, roasting you for these whack bars. Roasting you for the levers aren't straight. Roasting you for the purple grips being purple. Too matchy. Gonna roast you for riding in the sand. Gonna roast you for this 240 DPI photo. Gonna roast you for no bottle in bottle cage. Gonna roast you for this nut reflector. Shout out Nico Cycles though. And gonna roast you for your rear mech stretching out way too far here. Saddle position looks good. Yeah, I feel like that's way too stretched. What do you guys think? Alright, here's a crisper pic. It's funny, he sent this one, which is terrible. But then he sent this one, which is way better. So I don't know if he used another camera or not. Gonna roast you for taking a bike pic with the bike in shadow, being backlit. And that's it. Thanks, Zach. Not too bad. Alright, next up is Ryan. And he said roast. Alright, gonna roast you. No bottle cage, no bottle in bottle cage. Crank arm. Not straight, but flipped the other way around. And kind of cruiser build. Nice cabling work, I gotta say. A little tight cabling work up here. But yeah, overall pretty cool. Not too much to this one, just like a fun kind of BMX cruiser. Lever position seems good. Got a nice little shifter here. Looks like you upgraded a lot of parts. Yeah, looks pretty sick. Looks like a big BMX basically. Alright, nice. Oh, I gotta roast you for the green pedals. They are heinous. Alright, next up is Tim. Twim said, roast my bike updated. So he said he sent it in temporarily. And this is his final build, I guess. Final form. Let's see. So yeah, I don't think too much change on it. Everything looks good. I think everything looks similar to what it was last time. Crank arm not straight here. He does have the bottle in bottle cage. I think I might have mentioned this in the last one. I think the bag is kind of redundant. It's just too small. You know, you have a bag up the front and a basket, so I'm not sure what that's doing. And yeah, not too much to it. Yeah, I can't really see much else, Tim. But yeah, thanks for sending in. Looks like a sweet ride. Cheers. Alright, next up is Tom. Tom says it's got all this stuff if you want to pause and read it. And he just wants a review, so we'll just take a look. Alright, so crank arm not straight, but nice omnium cranks here. And I like the purple fender, spider web fender type deal. Matches the bike. Got some stickers on his bottle. Pretty cool. Single speed. Got an egg reflector. Nice little bag. Pretty accessorized out. Nice Brook saddle there. Nice bars. Yeah, looks like Tom decked this one out. I love the matching bags on the front and back. I think that's a nice touch. I like these grips. I have them myself. I like the levers. I don't have those. Rusty nut bolt there. Rusty axle. But yeah, overall pretty sick. Looks like a pretty sick, fun bike. And got some nice tires on there. I don't like the reflector strip again, but yeah, overall pretty cool. Yeah, nice one. Looks like he decked it out. If you read it, he's got all his specs there. So definitely more of like a custom build. Everything's decked out. I will say I'm not sure what this is though. Usually these are for drop bars, so your bars don't hit your top tube. But I don't know if his bars are gonna tilt down that far to hit that. But I guess he knows best. But yeah. Anyway, nice one. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for sending in. All right, next up is Will. Will says review, so just a normal review for him. And got some 105 on here. 105 group set. Gravel build, micro shift on it. Got some fresh grips on there, matching the tires, matching the saddle. Yeah, just a classic gravel build. Did it up, 700C. Got a thin bottle here, never seen that type of bottle before. Looks like you had to bend the cage as well. But yeah, overall, looks like this would get you around. Good for the outdoors. Nice one, Will. Thanks for sending. All right, next up is Brent, and he said bike review, not roast. So thanks, Brent. He says huge fan. Thanks, Brent. I appreciate that. And yeah, so it looks like he didn't send any pics, but I feel like he's kind of trolling. He wants me to review this bike. So let's take a look. I guess first up, no bottle cage, no bottle in bottle cage, no brakes, no cranks, no spokes, no levers, no reflectors. Yeah, so I feel like it's still kind of a work in progress, so probably needs a little bit of work before you resend. So after you fix those things up, I can review it again. Thanks, Brent. All right, next up is Lio. So yeah, this will be the last one. So yo, Gary, love your content, man. Thanks, Lio. Lio here from Groningen, NL. I'm not sure where that is, but maybe is that America, or I feel like it's NL a state. Built this clunker yesterday, and he just wants a roast. So yeah, overall, I gotta roast you for the cable lock. This cable lock isn't gonna work, so you may as well just get rid of that. It's basically an accessory at this point. I do like this lime green cable with the red, because I don't really see it that much. Kind of like an Apple theme, I guess. And the cables are a little bit long, so gotta roast you for that. Gonna roast you for these, I don't know, like sausage roll handlebar grips. They look pretty nasty. No bottle cage, no bottle in bottle cage. What else he's got? I do like the fat tires, but gotta roast him for non-matching brand of tires. It's got a 1x7 cassette. Chain looks a little bit loose on that one. Got these Coda cranks, but got a pretty funky chain ring on there. And funky pedals. Rear mech cable looks good. Rear mech looks good. And I like the bars. The bars, it looks like pretty comfy cruiser bars. Yeah, the stance is pretty sick on this one. I like it. Gotta love an old Peugeot. Can't go wrong. Super nice Geo. That old school Geo. And it's got the upright bars to make it more comfy. But yeah, that's basically it. Nice one. Nice one, Leo. Thanks for sending. Alright, that's it for that one. If you're looking to send in, you know how to do it. If you don't, then you just gotta work it out. Don't DM me. Alright, see you next one. Peace.